Hi, my name is Huang, and I work for Purpose, and I'm also involved in the Catalyst Consortium. So my field of expertise is sort of this convergence between experience design, user experience design, and community management or community organizing. So I'm here under a couple different capacities. The sort of origin of bringing me here was under the context of the Catalyst project. So through Purpose, we're working with the Catalyst Consortium on a set of open source collective intelligence tools, primarily for moderators and community managers to better visualize and analyze the social dynamics within a system for citizen participation. I also gave a talk yesterday, a workshop called Building Networks for Good, which was about my work outside of Catalyst. So I talked about a number of case studies, including UX for Good, Awesome Foundation, and Wisdom Hackers. And it's really about how people can coordinate and build civic value and social value outside of traditional organizations. I think one of the biggest problems is going beyond just connecting the different projects in the ecosystem, which I think conferences like this one are good for doing, is just one of funding, right? In Europe, you guys are really lucky to have the sort of government sector funding, the public funding of projects like this. But because they sort of work on these 2 to 5 year timelines, there's sort of, what about a sort of longer runway for some community projects to really thrive? And especially when access to private capital is more difficult here compared to in the US. Like, how can these projects sort of become sustainable in the long term if indeed they want to have a more sustainable business model? Tomorrow's biggest challenges and opportunities, I think it's really figuring out how sort of these small grassroots experimental CAPS projects can really kind of thrive in the long term, right? Like what would it be to have the sort of Facebook of CAPS or the Google of CAPS? Like what would one of these sort of unicorn projects look like? I think that's one of the sort of challenges of how something like this could scale, or even sort of philosophically, do we want them to scale? Or, are we trying to sort of replace the Facebooks and the Googles with something that's about collective intelligence, about CAPS, about kind of civic participation? Or do we continue in this sort of ecosystem model and sort of build collaboration across smaller projects? I think that's kind of a big open question for the future.